Good afternoon, bonjour. I will make my speech in French in order to change a little bit. I tried to do it in Hebrew and it was a little bit difficult, but as it is nap time, I thought that speaking in French will help you staying awake. Okay, I will try to manage this and making sure that I can, make that presentation working. First of all, I would like to say that I feel sincerely humbled to have been asked to participate to the celebration of the 125th anniversary of the First Zionist Congress, led by the spiritual father of Israel, Theodor Herzl, here in Basel. Let me first start by thanking very warmly the organizers for their invitation, and a very, very special thanks to Nir Shimoni, who helped me greatly in preparing this presentation, of which he is definitely the co-author. Toda, thank you. If something is wrong, it's him. So you know. In his book, Alt Neuland, The Old New Land, Theodor Herzl developed his vision to create a Jewish state, der Judenstaat, as a way for the Jews to live freely and safely and escape the consequences of a very active and brutal anti-Semitism. This was something that we still live today. But despite the fact that things have worked pretty well, I must say that it's not enough to eradicate anti-Semitism. The Herzl vision has been brought to life. I will not cover the story of Theodor Herzl. A lot of people are much well aware of his story, and you all know his own story. So I will certainly not go through his life, and the only thing I would like to mention that he has spent his very short life. He died at the age of 44 for the creation of the State of Israel. You all know his story and his destiny, which, like Moses, was to bring the people to the Holy Land and not being able to see his dream achieved. Theodor Herzl, is it working? Hello? Yes. Theodor Herzl has clearly been influenced by the horror of anti-Semitism, the pogroms, the Captain Alfred Dreyfus case. He attended in Paris at l'École Militaire the degradation of Captain Dreyfus. For him, as for many of us, the reason for hatred of Jews remained a sad mystery, be it religion, social, success, failures, whatever the reasons are, anti-Semitism have been there since at least 2,000 years. The Nazis' final solution and the Shoah being the culmination of horror and crimes against humanity. Why are we so much hatred? Herzl thought that it was maybe as much for our gifts as for our faults. And he thought that creating the Jewish state would solve at least partly the problem by offering a safe place for the Jews. He was right. Israel is a great accomplishment, and people are safe in Israel. However, it is not yet an eradication of anti-Semitism. It's here, in Basel, that he considered that the Jewish state was founded with the first Congress of the Zionist organization, which was held in 1897 and approved the creation of the Jewish state. It was the beginning of a difficult, arduous, painful, and glorious journey. He said In 5 years, maybe in 50 years, everyone will realize it. He was almost right. It was 51 years later that Israel has been created. The incredible force of the Zionist dream, combined with the unthinkable crimes against the Jews, has created an irresistible movement of immigration of Jews to the Holy Land. Scientists, workers, artists, poets, fighters, all become pioneers and warriors to participate to the creation of the state in Israel. In 1948, very few people and countries in the world would believe that the state will last and survive. We must remember that it was after months of civil war that the UN has voted the creation of the State of Israel. The first war between Israel and its Arab neighbors took place immediately, not even time to celebrate or rejoice. We have all to remember that the journey of Israel has been one of wars, terror, still now, losses of human lives, terrible sacrifices, and a very hard life. On paper, there was no reason for the country to survive. Surrounded by hostile neighbors, that some still want the destruction of the state, but thanks to the courage of those pioneers, the dream of the creation of a Jewish state became real. Maybe because it was so great, so big, so high a dream that it has multiplied the forces and the courage of those Jews who came with nothing to build what became this incredible country that we admire. Even if it is only 74 years ago, it looks like one of those biblical stories which are hard to believe. But we are witness of our times, and we know it is true. Herzl's vision came to life. With the creation of Israel, the people of the world has discovered that Jews were not only bankers, some would say usurers, or tailors, or doctors, or musicians. Jews showed a different face to the world. Hard workers in agriculture, cultivating a poor land, transforming a desert in rich and green land, inventing new ways of life and solidarity with the kibbutzim and the moshavim, working in all industries, showing incredible ingenuity to improve productivity with scarce resources, and becoming self-sufficient in an hostile environment. And far from the image that has been displayed by the Nazis of a people of cowards or sheep, those Jews have shown courage at its peak against all the enemies, with its culmination with the Six-Day War and in their everyday life. We can only admire those incredible people. Yes, the journey of Israel and its people was not an easy one. The resistance, the courage of Israel has generated a lot of admiration throughout the world, to a point that when Israel started to be a safer place, more successful, building an independent country, criticism started to emerge, including from friends, as if for them a good Israel had to be a poor and weak one. But Israel aims high. As late President Peres put it, there is no room for small dreams. Israel is one-of-a-kind country. Despite all the security issues, the country has been true to its foundation dreams, with one of the most democratic systems, sometimes impossible to make it working, as we have seen in recent times, an independent justice, a high level of ethics, human rights highly respected, a health system that has proven its reliability and efficacy, particularly in the time of the pandemic, and on and on and on. Maybe not completely the model country that Herzl was dreaming of, because there are still some issues to be solved, starting with peace with the Palestinians, poverty, but definitely an incredible one with many, many miracles. Israel has an unquenchable thirst for excellence in everything they do. It's almost normal for the people of the book that education is a top priority. Here also, it was not an easy journey to create schools, universities, and education systems that give to everyone the best possible chances of success. The results today are staggering. When it comes to immigration, and a time where it is a huge issue for most Western countries, Israel has been able to welcome and integrate people from accomplished scientists to illiterate families, offering them a safe and healthy future. I'm not saying that it was easy, but it's one of the best accomplishments of the country. Same language, same education, same health system for a diverse population coming from the most advanced as well as the most lagging countries. For the most ancient monotheistic people with the largest variety of expression of Judaism, from Haredim, Hasidim, Datim to reformists or non-observant, creating a culture of tolerance would have been unthinkable. It's one of the numerous miracles of Israel. We don't live in the era of Sodom and Gomorrah, freedom, tolerance, and some of the highest values of the country. I already mentioned agriculture, needless to insist on all the innovation to develop agriculture with the minimum use of water. I have to speak about defense and safety from the very first days of the creation of Israel. In fact, even before, Israel defense has been the top priority of the country, offering a safe harbor. I don't know what's happening with my slide. Okay, it's not exactly that, but it's okay. A safe harbor to its population. It's not only about courage, it is also about innovation, intelligence, ingenuity, strategy, creating new defense system, adapting day after day to new environment, new hostility, and new forms of terror, and being successful. From education to research, Israel has invested enormously in its people with a success which is disproportionate to its size and population. Technion, Weizmann Institute, Hebrew University, Tel Aviv University, Ben-Gurion University, Nobel Prizes, the list of achievement is long, very long, and very impressive. With science come technology. Today, the small country that is Israel has become one of the most prolific countries of the world in technology and innovation. With technology at its heart, Israel is definitely an economic power with areas of leadership which are competing or partnering with some of the strongest corporations in the world. Israel is a true startup nation. The entrepreneurship spirit combined with the research and education system, the technology innovation, and this dream shared by the youth has made Israel what it is today, an example in a startup nation. The list of achievement of Israel in all areas is so long that the whole afternoon would not suffice. I think that we can all agree that the vision of Herzl for Der Judenstaat has not only been achieved, but Israel went well beyond his wildest dream, and those of the founding fathers, be they Weizmann, Ben-Gurion, and all the giants who follow in their steps, including, obviously, Shimon Peres. As mentioned, there are still many areas of improvement, starting with fair peace with the Palestinians, eradicating poverty, enhancing equality and justice. The question today is, what would be the Herzl vision for the future? What would be that vision in a world which is struggling? I think he would say that we have achieved a lot, but we should go back to our spirit, our roots of Tikkun Olam, and help making the world a better place. This struggling world which is facing so many challenges, starting with violence, which is everywhere at state level, with geopolitical relationships which are tense, in the cities with terrorism and crimes everywhere, and unfortunately with the war at only a few hours from here in Europe with the Russian war against Ukraine, leading to another Cold War between Russia and the Western world. Poverty. The gap between the richest and the poorest has never been so wide, and despite globalization, which has taken hundreds of millions of people out of poverty, we see poverty everywhere, including in the richest country of the world, and obviously in Israel, creating a feeling of injustice. Climate change, if we need a demonstration that climate change is a reality, this summer gave us with the fires, the drought, lack of water combined with flood, and on, a clear testimony. Yes, climate change is a strong reality as well as all environmental issues. I think I don't need to insist. We are all, unfortunately, well aware of this terrible situation. And again, anti-Semitism on the rise. The crimes in Paris, Toulouse, Berlin, Brussels, London, and even in the USA, the rampant hatred, the rise of far right, but also far left, the anti-Zionism, which is also a way to express anti-Semitism. It is chilling to see all the demonstrations which are so public as if the memories of the Nazis' atrocities has been erased. Some people never learn from the past. Suffice to see what's happening in Germany, yes, in Germany, with the document affair. Today, Herzl would probably invite us to go beyond our selfish interest, beyond Israel borders, beyond the Jews, and help repairing the world, Tikkun Olam. I'm not an expert in theology, but my poor understanding of the Bible is that the world has been created imperfect, and it was up to us to improve the state of the world, Tikkun Olam. If Herzl was alive today, he would give us a new task, to stay true to Tikkun Olam and help uprising the world with the tools of today, science and technology, and make them working for good. Tech for good must be at the service of Tikkun Olam. When Shimon Peres explained to me in one of our long private lunches that he wanted to add innovation to the Peres Center for Peace, I was surprised and did not understand what innovation had to do with peace. In fact, he was inventing the concept of tech for good, this concept that has been used by President Macron, gathering head of states, CEOs, and technologists to work on how to make the world a better place. We, the Jews, even though if we are not observant, have been raised with the idea of Tikkun Olam. Israel has developed an incredible ecosystem of science and innovation, second only to the Silicon Valley. With its creativity, entrepreneurship spirit, its value, Israel has today the means and the people to make the world a better place. This should probably be the vision of Herzl, a new purpose, beyond its border, beyond its people, with heart and generosity, fight climate change, poverty, and make the world a better place. Tech for good is not to try to limit the negative consequences of technology. This would be a very poor objective. It is to use the power of technology, the creativity of the people to create a new startup nation, the Tech for Good startup nation. Technology should be a force for good, technology that will help solving climate change issues with clean tech, saving water, offering education to all, new ways of working, of living, reducing poverty, eradicating violence, creating dignity and enhancing values around the world, simply making the world better. Utopia, maybe. But to quote Einstein, shoot for the moon, and if you miss it, you will land among the stars. And if Herzl was alive, utopia would be for him just a small dream. Merci. Thank you.